Hi, welcome to this pre-season edition of 100% LCFC TV. Today I have Simon Mack with me, Chief Writer for 100% LCFC, and we're going to discuss some of today's hot topics. Simon, your early thoughts on pre-season?
I think it's been really positive. I think when we look at they played Ilkeston and won 6-1, which was a bit of just a warm-up game. But after that, with the trip to Thailand and the good 1-0 victory against a strong Everton side, and the victory last night against Walsall with two really, really nice goals from Nugent and Drinkwater, especially Nugent's when he drifted it off the outside of his foot into the top corner. It was a really, really nice finish.
Yeah, lovely goal, wasn't it? I mean, it reminded me a little bit of, I remember Kenny Dalglish many years ago at Filbert Street, cutting in from the right-hand side and just hitting that. But Nugent, he just sort of hit it first time. It was quite delightful.
Instinctive, and I think he's got a little bit of a point to prove this pre-season, because with Holloway coming in, and we've got obviously Vardy, and they're all vying for a place in the starting 11 against Everton on the 16th of August, and I think they're all up in their game, all the forwards, looking for the first opportunity.
Yeah, I mean we've got quite a few forwards now. I mean there's still rumours of Troy Deeney, and we seem to be linked with every striker that seems to be going, but none of them are sort of marquee signings as strikers. What do you think to the current setup of forwards that we've got?
I think we're strong enough in attack. In my opinion, it's only my opinion, but I think we're strong enough, and I'm not really sure why we seem to be looking for another striker. I mean, obviously we have to trust in Nigel and what he's doing and the plans that he's got. But with Holloway coming in, and we've got Nugent, we've got Vardy, we've got Taylor Fletcher, and we've got young Tom Hopper as well, and Chris Wood still around the club. There's so many options there that it makes you wonder why we need another option at the moment.
I mean, I watched the Everton game on the live stream, and I particularly thought Vardy stood out again. I really wonder if he might be a big, not a surprise to us Leicester fans, because we've seen how he developed last year, but next season I'm really wondering if there's going to be a lot of Premiership teams who don't give him the respect, and if he carries on with that pace. What are your thoughts on Vardy at the moment?
I think Vardy looks really sharp. I think he looks, if possible, even sharper than last season. He looks so quick. He came off the left in the 4-2-3-1 system for a period of time against Everton, and he just ran their defence ragged. I mean, I think you're right. I think he's going to catch a few defences napping, especially early on in the season. One wonders what will happen later on in the season when teams start to understand the threat of Vardy, and they start to mark him more tightly and give him more respect. But I think for the early games, I think he's going to catch a lot of defences napping, and he's going to get his chance to score a few goals.
Yeah, I mean, I think you touched on formations there. I'm suspecting that the home games will be a little bit more attacking minded, but I certainly think on the away formation will be a lot more defensive and using Vardy's pace. But I think perhaps fans may have to be more patient in the home games than last season, and I think we will be looking to try and suck up pressure. There was a couple of times in the Everton game when we did look a little exposed ourselves, though, when we looked like we'd gone too far forward, committed too many players, and then Everton came and sort of exposed us there. Yeah.
Oh yeah, and yesterday we conceded 2 goals against Walsall as well. Much as it was a weaker first 11 than we would put out in a Premier League match. I think we've got to temper what we're doing in attack with some quality defence. Again, it makes you wonder what's happening. We haven't seen Upson yet play.
No.
I think he's got a knock, so he's not quite ready. But at the moment, the consensus seems to be it's going to be Morgan and Moore starting at centre half.
You think Moore rather than Wasilewski?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I think to start with, I think he's got the X factor. I think a little bit more than. I mean, Wasilewski is a fantastic player.
Do you think in the Premier League he may get found out? Do you think his temper may get the better of him, which you just can't afford to lose a man?
I think it's a little bit concerning. There was a few times last season where he did a few things that you would think, with the sort of 40 cameras that the Premier League brings with it, even if the referee didn't spot it, it's going to get picked up the next day by the Premier League and the referees, and he might end up with a call up for a disciplinary. It does worry you, but his pace, I think, a little bit worries me. In my opinion, I think we need a little bit of pace at the back in the Premier, a little bit more pace than maybe we had in the Championship. So I would err more on the side of playing more.
Yeah. Well, Liam Moore, early part of last season, certainly looked pretty sensational at times. So I think he would be highly disappointed when he picked up that injury when he hit the post. in the home game. So I would think that he'll very much be hoping that he states a place in the first team, and then, you know, who knows with maybe England call-ups, even if it's in the under-21s again. But yeah, I think Vasilevsky, in almost the last game at home against Doncaster, right in front of where I was sitting, popped an elbow out, and we all saw it. And I think in the Premier League, you'd get pulled up for that.
Yeah, I think you're spot on. I think he's going to have to be much more measured in what he does in the Premier League, and much cuter. But I think they're all going to play their part at the end of the day. You know, it's a squad game. It's a long season, and they're all going to end up playing their part. If we're talking about the starters, I think the consensus is, I would say, Moore and Morgan to start with. Who plays at left back? I mean, that's another question.
Lots of questions. I mean, Milton Keynes on Monday. I believe you're going down to see the MK Dons. Be interesting to see what sort of team and formation again. People vying for positions.
Yeah, again, yeah. I mean, Konchesky and Schlupp. I mean, Schlupp last. I mean, when Konchesky got sent off at Forest, wasn't it? Forest away, and then Schlupp took his chance fantastically after that at left back, and he kept Konchesky out for a period of time. And you'd have to say that's a real nip and tuck choice. I wouldn't like to be Pearson choosing which one to start the season with there.
No, again, Schlupp, last season there's signs that, you know, could he be a new Ashley Cole type of player? Could he have a great start to the season? And again, as a Leicester fan, I'm thinking maybe even get a call up to England or something if he goes down the right way. On the other hand, I've seen him do things that are very naive, and you wonder again, Premiership types of strikers, they're not going to give you second chances. One mistake and you're a goal down or 2 goals down. And I think, you know, my jury is slightly out with Schlupp. I'm very positive about him, but it'd be very interesting to see if that step up again, he is, you know, going to make it.
Yeah, and it will be a big test, but not only for him, for Liam Moore and for many other players. I mean, what a fantastic potential midfield we've got with Danny Drinkwater and Matty James. But again, we're talking about players that are untried at that level. So, you know, it's going to be a big season for them all. But I think the key thing for me about us is that we've maintained the unit from last season and the spine of our team. Schmeichel, Wes Morgan, Danny Drinkwater, David Nugent, for me, is the spine of our team. And we've signed all of those guys on new contracts. And it's there to build a framework around, I think, which I think is going to surprise a lot of other teams in the Premier League. I think we're being underestimated by a lot of people. There's a lot of talk going around at the moment now about pre-season, who's going to be the contenders, who's going to be the ones that are going to be struggling. I think a lot of people are underestimating Leicester City. I think we're going to do a lot better than a lot of people think. I think we've got a very good unit. And just because we don't have these big famous names that we're signing or we've got in our side, doesn't mean that we're a weak side. We've still got plenty of quality. And I think the Premier League's in for a bit of a shock. Yeah,
I think you could be right. Well, let's hope so. Well, Milton Keynes on Monday. Let's see what happens there, what sort of team goes out. Simon, no doubt, will be reporting on that. So check out the website, www.100lcfc.com, for all the latest news and gossip and fans debate from 100% LCFC. Thank you very much.